Hello everyone. So one of the most impressive things I've seen the Mortal Kombat creators do in the latest games is bringing in new combatants that don't need any introduction because they are in fact characters from separate franchises. Never did I ever expect to see Freddy Krueger appear in MK9 ready to kick some ass. Sadly it wasn't Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger, but I like to pretend it is. And now with Mortal Kombat X giving us characters like Jason Voorhees, the Predator, fucking alien xenomorph with Tarkatan jeans, still one of the greatest things I've seen in Mortal Kombat, things are really starting to stretch out with more guest appearances from separate franchises. So I'd like to share 5 characters that I hope to see in the next Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 11. So without any more delays, let's go with number 5 is Robocop. Robocop got a reboot in 2014. I truly enjoyed it, even though I did not like that they gave him a paint job turning his iconic chrome color to black. But what was a great thing that they did at first was give him the chrome look for a good chunk of the movie. And it really did look like an upgraded version of the classic Robocop design. So if Robocop does get to appear in the next Mortal Kombat game, I think it wouldn't disappoint. Especially if they gave us both the reboot and classic characters in alternate costumes. We've seen it done with Injustice Gods Among Us, which was made by the creators of Mortal Kombat, so it's doable. Plus, who wouldn't want to play as Robocop and bust out with each weapon he possessed in each film? I would love to see an X-ray move where he crushes opponents' hands, drops them on their knees, and impales his data spike on the opponent's neck like he did with Red Foreman. And maybe get an iron kick to the shin. You know that's gotta hurt. Maybe not as bad as getting that data spike through the neck, but you get the point. Now, hopefully if we do get to see Robocop make an appearance as a new DLC character, I'd like it if Peter Weller could lend his talent to NetherRealm Studios and actually do the voice for the iconic character he represented in the 90s. It would make so many movie fans happy to see him come back once and for all for a Mortal Kombat tournament. Now the last thing I gotta mention are his fatalities. What would we get to see from Robocop that brings him back to his rated R antics? I'd like to see a fatality where he jams his fist in the opponent's head from behind, pulls out their brain and smashes it on the floor. Or how about a fatality where he brings in his wingman Ed 209 and he shoots the crap out of the opponent until there's only like chunks remaining, but still standing, and Robocop finishes him off with the Cobra Assault Cannon. Yeah, that would be the tits! Now, the second character I'd like to see make an appearance in the new Mortal Kombat game would have to be the Terminator. Now, before I explain the beauty of having the Terminator in a Mortal Kombat game, I gotta mention that lately we have received DLC characters that have crossed over with another. For example, in Mortal Kombat X they gave us the Predator and the Alien. Surprisingly, we've had so many AVP games out so far, and most of them have failed to give us what we've always wanted to see. And Mortal Kombat X did an outstanding job of giving us Alien versus Predator, something we've always wanted. We also got Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, who have crossed over to brawl it out in the movie Freddy vs. Jason. Sadly, we couldn't get the two of them to fight since Freddy only came out in MK9 and Jason appeared in MKX. Rival fights are awesome, especially when it's about two characters from separate franchises, which brings me to Robocop's true rival, the Terminator. If we do get Robocop, then hopefully the Terminator comes along as well, because this would mean that NetherRealm Studios has done it again. And now the fans get to choose between which characters they grew up with the most, the Terminator or Robocop. Can you imagine the kinds of things the Terminator could do? He could bust out with the grenade launcher, use it for a fatality, or if you want to use his latest upgrade, which is the Terminator combined with the liquid metal to form stabbing weapons like the T-1000, also his battle damage would definitely be something to look forward to, since we'd be able to see his exoskeleton like in the movies. But most importantly of all, you can't have the Terminator without being voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. It would be amazing to have both Peter Weller and Arnold Schwarzenegger interact before their fight. We could see the kind of dialogue that they would have had if they had just gotten to be in a movie together. Honestly, the Terminator franchise went downhill after they came back in the third movie. It was entertaining, but it wasn't necessary at all to make, and since they completely fucked up the story now by going back in time over and over to the point that the war is just inevitable and they're destined to do this forever, it would have been amazing if the Terminator universe crossed over with the Robocop universe, because they did it in the comics and in the video game storylines. They showed us that Robocop was the main reason to why Skynet took over the world, so bringing that into the conclusion of the Terminator franchise would have been shocking and awesome. But anyways, let's move on to the third character we need to see in the next Mortal Kombat game. The Mask from The Mask. Yeah, this is a character I would love to see make an appearance in the next Mortal Kombat installment. The beauty about the mask is that he can pretty much do anything he wants in a comedic way, and since we never got to see what a true adaptation of the original Mask comics would have been like, now is the opportunity to see it happen in a Mortal Kombat game. If you've seen the movie with Jim Carrey, then you know how cool and funny the character can be, but if you know what the mask is like in the original comics, then you know just how insane the mask can truly be. I can't even think of the kinds of silly fatalities this guy would bring up. The possibilities are endless. It would be cool if Jim Carrey could be on board with the voice acting for the character, but it's not likely to happen. And if you've seen the comics, then you know that the mask doesn't stay with Stanley Ipkiss. It moves on to his girlfriend and more characters. Speaking of his girlfriend, it would be amazing if she could be the alternate costume for the mask. This way we get to see what she would have looked like if she actually put on the mask like she did in the comics. Now let's move on to the fourth character. That is the lovable Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise. This without a doubt has got to happen. Bruce Campbell would be the perfect character to make an appearance in the next MK game. First of all, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre should not have been a DLC character for MKX. I don't even know who said it was a good idea to include him. He's not a fighter, he's not like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers where he can take bullets to the face and get away. Even in the movies, he's not the mastermind behind the killings, he's just a pawn in his family. If NetherRealm Studios wanted to include a character with a chainsaw, it should have been Ashy Slashy. This guy would be perfect. Imagine the interactions between Ash and Johnny Cage. Imagine what his fatalities would be like. He could use the Book of the Dead to bring forth any type of demon to finish off the opponent. And like the rest of the characters, we would have to have Bruce Campbell voice his character in the game. It would be groovy. Okay, we're down to the last character. Before I mention this character's name, let's see if you can guess who I'm talking about. This character has only been in 2 films, both are horror films. This character was first seen in the middle of nowhere dumping bodies down a sewer pipe. Got any ideas who it is? Well, if you guessed Jeepers Creepers, then you know what I'm talking about when I say this character needs to make an appearance in the next Mortal Kombat game. Jeepers Creepers is by far the creepiest horror movie creature I've ever seen. I couldn't go to sleep for a few days after seeing the first movie. It is so shocking. Jeepers Creepers would be perfect for a guest character in the Mortal Kombat game. He could pretty much do anything to the opponent. If he needs a new leg, he could just snatch it off the opponent. He needs a new pair of eyes, he's got his eyes on the opponent. And if he needs a new head, well, that's not even a problem for him. He'll actually remove his own head and replace it with his victim's head. It would be epic to see Mortal Kombat give us Jeepers Creepers or any of the characters in this list. If you'd like to get the attention of NetherRealm Studios, then just share the video and spread the word so we can get the right guest characters for the next installment. I'd hate to see this opportunity fly by. The creators of Mortal Kombat have done an amazing job with the franchise so far, and they do listen to the fans, so if anything, share this video and I'm sure we might actually get to see at least one of these characters make an appearance. I heard that Jeepers Creepers 3 is in the works, possibly already coming out this year. I think they were calling it Jeepers Creepers 3 Cathedral. I'm not sure, but hopefully they don't make it CGI and actually end up using makeup and practical effects for Jeepers Creepers, because if not, then that would be a huge disappointment, because so far there hasn't been a monster made of CGI that actually scared me, and I doubt it'll ever happen. But anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please leave a like, share with others, and subscribe if you haven't. And don't forget to click on the little bell icon next to the subscribe button to notify you of every new video that gets uploaded to the channel. And if there's a specific video you'd like to see, just leave it in the comments and you might get to see the video you were hoping for. And also follow me on Twitter to find out which videos are up next and whatever random posts I make. But anyways, I'll see you all tomorrow, and remember to have an awesome day.